Hello everyone, my name is Ravi and I recently got recommended for UPC CDS 2019 second one. So I will be telling about my experiences and some of the tips that I used that may help you. So let's begin. Okay, so we'll start with first day of second stage and that is psychology. So the first task is stat. So in that we have to write 12 stories and the last one is blank. I didn't prepare for that. Actually, I wrote 4 5 stories to make up my mind how much I need to write in 4 minutes and how should I frame my stories. So with this practice, I went for the examination and fortunately I was able to complete all the stories. With most of the stories with my own skills matching my personality. Most of the stories were on struggle, hard work, urban challenges, rural challenges, economy, and something like this. And for the last slide, I wrote one of my own incident of my pre-final year of my college where I shown some leadership skill. So that's much I wrote. And the only suggestion that I can give you for the TAT is that don't make up your stories before going to the examination. If you want to practice, just practice it for timing and practice it for formulation of the story and not for content. So that's only suggestion I can give you for the TAT. So the next task that comes in the series is VAT. For the VAT, I practice almost 4 5 sets of 60 words each in strict time limits, and that helped me with the timings. And I was able to complete 58 out of 60 in the real test. Few of the words even came same as I practiced, so I just wrote the same exact statement as that they were my own thoughts. And for the tips point of view, I can only say that just practice a lot in strict time limits and don't overthink during the practice and try to make a bit of more creative thoughts, more creative statements. For example, in my case, one of the word was old, so I just wrote older people comes with lot of experience. And another I can give you example of society. So society for society, I wrote honest people are loved by society. So that's pretty much for the VAT. So the next task is SRT. In SRT, we have to complete 60 situations in 30 minutes. So for this, I didn't practice. Rather, I made up my mind to write exactly same responses that I would do in the real life. And with this thought, I went to the test and I tried my very best to write exactly same responses that I would do in the real life. And I also improvised my writing style to include lot of commas and semicolon to just shorten my time for the each responses. And I also focused on a quality of response rather than quality of language or quality of sentence making English. And with this, I was able to complete 43 out of 60 situations. And the interesting part is that I didn't left any situation in between. I tried to complete all the situation from 1 to 43. And I think this shows that I don't want to evade any situation. So that's only improvisation that I did there. For the tips part, I can say that just try to write as exact responses as you would do in the real life, and nothing extra. Don't make yourself Superman or don't make yourself a beggar. Just try to just be yourself, and that's the only thing that I can say. So that's pretty much for the SRT. So the last task for the first day was SD self description. I think this is a very important test where you have to write about your own self, your own weaknesses, your own strength, and what your parents, what your teachers, what your employer, friends thinks about yourself. So I just consulted my friends about just in casual talks. I asked them about my strengths and weaknesses, and I think I wrote the same thing for my own. For my employer, I just took my manager's feedback and wrote those things. For family, I inquired about their thoughts about myself, and in the things that I can improve and about my own thoughts, I just introspected my own self. I think introspection is very much important. It will not just help you in SD but also in TAT, VAT, and SRT, and even GTO and interview. This will make you a blueprint of yourself that you would like to use because your own strengths and weaknesses make up the TAT stories, the situation responses, even the words VAT, and also in GTO. if, for example, if you are weak in communication, obviously you will be not very comfortable with the lecture rate in the GTO. So I think self reflection is very important, and self introspection is very much important for the SSB point of view. Tips: there is no tips for the self reflection, just write. I practiced the self reflection 1 or 2 days before the SSB in the train itself. So I think you should write your self description beforehand and prepare it, because 15 minutes is not very much time to think and write there itself. So just practice it and prepare it, and self introspection is very much important, I must say. This is for the SD part.